If you have a website that is giving you problems and not showing up correctly in Google, not just that it won't rank for competitive search terms, but that it won't index correctly. When you put up a new article, it doesn't show up. You think that there's a problem, but you can't figure it out. Well, then this video is for you. I'm going to go over a few important basics that you want to check first, and you don't need fancy tools or anything. You want to check these things first before you go farther in depth, spending time and money to research what the problem might be with your website. Hi there. If you don't know me, my name is Bruce. I've been doing SEO since 2015. I love this stuff. I've helped small businesses, medium-sized businesses, large businesses, e-com businesses, affiliate businesses, all different types of businesses improve their revenues, make more money in sales by showing up better at the top of Google search results. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about problem websites and what you can do. So we're going to start with the basics. And you'd be surprised how many large businesses have gotten hung up on these things, and you waste your time getting all technical, and then you find out it's something as important as the home page being set to no index, which means, hey, Google, don't even look at this web page. Don't look at it. Don't put it in Google, which is an index. Don't index it. Same with Bing. So anyway, I'm going to show you, because most businesses run WordPress. It's the largest content management system on the internet. And I've got my website. I just pulled it up. This is the first time I've logged into my agency site in 4 years or something. I had to run a bunch of updates before I made this video. But anyway, so I'm going to show you what you want to do. Because I've had these problems before. I currently had one of these problems with one of my affiliate sites, and I wanted to just make this video about how important the basics are. Okay, so here is my agency site, determinesolutions.com. And here we are on the home page, right? determinesolutions.com. So one of the first things you want to do, if you have a page or if the whole site is not acting correctly, is you want to, well, you know what? Actually, this might be the first. Just start here to see if you have a problem. And that's COM. Okay, so what is the site :domain search? Okay, so it is going into Google and doing site and then the name of your website. Site, what is that? : determined solutions, right? So I just changed this page title around, but that is the correct page title. So that's what you want to see. You want to see your home page first when you do this search. And then you want to see that your pages are getting indexed, right? And so this site is working fine. But if you do this and that home page isn't there, or you do this and only 1 or 2 pages are indexed, and you're like, man, I've got 100 pages, only 2 are indexed. And you're like that, because if you have 100 pages on your website and only 2 of them are indexed, something's wrong, right? So this video is for that. So you want to start here, do a site search, right? Make sure that you're indexed. Make sure that your homepage is indexed. And then you can do things because these are all different searches, right? So when you take out the site search, right? So that's actually means the site's pretty healthy. These are called site links, and Google's giving me a bunch of site links. So that means it's good. So you can do that. You can put your domain in there with no extra slashes, HTTP, nothing. And then you could take it one step further, get rid of the dot. And it's like, okay, I'm still showing up. That is actually a very good thing. Then you could get rid of the com, and it's like, okay, I'm still seeing my site number 1. So sometimes it does this, right? I asked for this search, and it thinks that I want this search. So let's see. Okay, so I'm still there. So you can just do these. I mean, if you have a weak site, it might not show up. But back in the day, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, I did a bunch of branding on the site. So Google knows what this site is, even though I haven't touched it since, I don't know, 2020 or something. Anyway, so that's just some starting out things, right? But it's that site search, site.domain.com. And if your homepage isn't showing up correctly there, then something's an issue. So then from there, you might want to go to your homepage, right? And if you're running WordPress, you're going to have some SEO plugin on it. Yoast is probably the most popular one, followed by All-in-One SEO. There's Rank Math, and there's like a couple others now. There's one that a lot of sites I'm putting online comes as a default when I install WordPress. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, they're all kind of the same. So in this instance, we want to scroll down to Yoast, right? So here's Yoast. We want to go down. We see the SEO title. Now, that should be the same. I just updated this. So it's not. I just updated this a couple minutes ago. Because I used to like get clients and I would do stuff with the website, and I haven't tried to get a client in a long time. Sometimes people find me, but I do mostly affiliate stuff now. So like I don't even care about the website. I still want it up. Anyway, so that is the SEO title for this page, and eventually it'll update in Google. I'm too lazy to even tell Google to like come check the page out. Google will naturally figure it out over time. But what you want to do is you want to look at your SEO title, and ideally when you do this search, this should be the correct SEO title. And since this was the correct SEO title like 15 minutes ago, but I just changed it like 5 minutes ago. But what you want to do is you want to come down here. And sometimes the plugin, it'll be like up here. It depends on what you have, like Yoast, All-in-One, whatever. On this one, Yoast, it's in advanced. And you click the down arrow button. This is what you want to look at. Allow search engines to show the content in the search results. Yes, right? But for whatever reason, maybe the web designer is working on something. Maybe somebody accidentally hit a button. Who knows how it happens? Maybe you set it to no index and then forgot because you just wanted to test something, and then you forgot to unset. Anyway, if your website's not showing up correctly, you want to go here and make sure that it's not set to no. Like, this seems so basic, you'd be surprised how many big businesses have screwed this up before. And they're like, their traffic's tanking, and they're like, what's wrong with the site? And somehow the homepage got set to no index. It happens. It's crazy. So just make sure that it's set to index. Would you like search engines to follow the links on this content? Yes, unless you're doing something that I don't like. This is like a beginner series, and so like, yeah, you want it set to yes, unless you're doing some ninja stuff, or I don't know why you'd want it no if you want to show up in search. And then this is a little bit more advanced, but so this was a problem I had. I had moved a website and I forgot to remove the canonical. So a canonical, I don't even really know the difference between a canonical and a 301. Is this going to tell us anything? Whatever. So anyway, a canonical is kind of like, hey, this website's no longer here. Go look at this other domain. Anyway, if you want this website to be indexed and crawled, then you want to make sure that there's no canonical right here. So just make sure there's no canonicals. And then another thing you want to make sure of is a 301 redirect. So a 301, so in my notes I have 301s, canonicals, and no index, right? So one, I already talked about the no index. Canonical, just make sure that there's nothing in here if you don't want the canonical, which most of the time you're not, unless you have an SEO professional like me and you've got like a unique case. But most of the time, you're not going to want that. And then a 301, that's generally going to be done at the hosting level. A 301 says like determine solutions. Let's say I move it and I buy solutions.com and I want to change my whole branding. Then I would say determine solutions 301 to solutions.com, right? That's why you would use a 301. And so you just want to go and make sure that you can do it on WordPress with a plugin. And if then I could like look on the website, but more often than not, you're probably going to do it at the hosting level. And so you would go to your website host and make sure that there's no 301, or if you did do the 301, you'd want to make sure it's acting correctly. Anyway, so if your website's acting funny, start there. Start with these basic things. And like as SEO people and as technical people, like a lot of times we overlook this. Because we think, nah, you couldn't screw that up, right? Because it's so basic. You're like, nah, this can't be the problem. So you look for like more advanced stuff. It's not because we're being obnoxious or irresponsible. It's just usually you don't screw this up, but when you do, it's bad. So these are the basics that you want to go over. And then, hook your site up to Google Search Console, drop your sitemap into Google Search Console, and have Google crawl your site, have Google crawl your homepage, but also do the same thing with Bing. So right now, I've got a site where in Bing, everything is fine. It can crawl everything. It appears just fine. But when I drop it into the Google equivalent, Bing Webmaster Tools is like it's just Bing's version of Search Console, right? It's so the website owner can figure out information about their website. And Google Search Console is having trouble reading the sitemap of a website. Bing's reads it fine. So that's an issue. I don't exactly know what the problem is. It kind of seems like it's a Google problem, but there's problems with the website. And so I know that that's an issue. Like, why is Google struggling to read the sitemap? And the sitemap tells Google like all the pages that you want indexed in Google search, and you can't rank in Google search until your page is indexed. So it's super important, super basic. So, the reason why I say hook up to Bing as well as Google is because, yes, Google is the one with the most search traffic, but this is like getting a second opinion. The tools here are still really good, and they can tell you if there's an issue. So like if there's a problem if you think you have a problem with your website, but it's not a problem with your website, it's a problem with Google, most of the time it won't be. But I mean, it gets really weird if Bing is like giving you all green lights and you're getting like one red light through Google. And so, but that'll help you like narrow down what is wrong with your website. So that's it for today. I hope you found this helpful. This is basics, but it's so important. You don't want to overlook this. If you are having problems with the website, start with the basics and really go through and make sure they are taken care of. So hope you found this helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like. If you know someone struggling with their website, having some weird things going on, having problems, send them this video. They need to check the basics first. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I will answer you. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.